Hello, everybody. Bobby Francis here for Full Tilt Weather. And hello, everybody in YouTube world. We're going to be talking about tomorrow's severe weather event. This is going to be a more in depth forecast than a lot of the videos I just got done doing for Facebook or TikTok. So, most models are expecting an initiation right here along I 35, probably between 11 and 1 o'clock, right around that time span. These could be severe. Given the Cape, on the front side of the cold front, your frontal boundary, primary threat here could be 1 to 2 inch hail. 2 inch hail will be extremely isolated, but there could be a little bit of 2 inch hail. Your tornado threat's really not going to start until the line moves a little bit more east, because the low right here is located right about here. That's about Fredericks, Oklahoma. So you need to have shearing come down and around in front of the cells. Well, this shearing at this point is so wide that it's pushing it more into Alabama. So you're not really seeing a tighter jet allowing for southwesterly initiation on northeasternly moving cells. So you're not going to see a lot of tornadoes early on this line. But hail and wind will remain possible. And we're going to bump this forward a little bit now. Now we're at about 4 in the afternoon. Right about here. This is the point, that low is right about here. So we're talking just a little bit northwest of Idabel, Oklahoma. So now you're beginning to get that shear pushing down and along in front of it. You can see the line right here as we begin to move out. This is where your tornado threat starts. Primarily right here on Texas-Louisiana border, right along this area. That'll be the primary threat about 4 in the afternoon. As we start to move it forward, these more discrete cells initiating just a little bit east of Nacogdoches, Texas, more than likely. I will probably be setting in Nacogdoches whenever they fire. These cells are expected to move into Louisiana. The possibility of a tornado as this cell goes up is very likely. These will more than likely be the kind of cells that could initiate and become tornadic within 30 minutes to an hour. I expect these to be very quick firing cells on this frontal line. And as we bump it forward, you see these cells continue to stay either segmented or discrete or clustered. So these remain to be numerous tornado threats along the Texas-Louisiana border right about or just after dark. As we continue to move it forward, we get full linear segmentation. This is about southeast of Ringo, Louisiana, right in that area. And this is going to extend down to around Leesville. Whenever this line is moving like this, more than likely we're going to have 2 tornadic cells, because we're going to have the following stair step and the primary cell. Some models have shown initiation back here, but the low at this point is right about Hope, Arkansas. So you're sending shear down and away. So these cells are going to have issue getting into the decent shearing needed to produce tornadoes. These cells between, let's say, Leesville and Arcadia, these are the primary threats of this event. These couple of cells that are going to be right in this line, and we could even have one right down in here, which would be a little bit northwest of, right on the boot of Louisiana. And as you see, these cells begin to become linear later into the night. This is about 10 o'clock at night. We have a full linear line. That don't mean the tornado threat has died. What that means is we've moved into more of a wind-based threat and away from a large tornado threat. So we have a window of about 6 hours a large tornado could occur. Between about 5 and about 12 at night, or 11 at night, right in that area. It's going to be about 6 or 7 hours. And this is going to be our focal point, right here. Central Louisiana, eastern Texas. Now, there probably will continue to be tornadoes on the bottom side of this linear line moving through the night. And some models have shown possible initiation south of around Jackson, Mississippi. So headed out I-20 towards Forest. So we're going to go over to the tornadic probability here. We're going to go back to that 31-hour run we were looking at. So this is our tornadic probability. And as we bump it a little bit forward, this is at 33 as we begin to move in with them discreter cells firing along this initiation line. So right in here. This is your primary threat to start with. We're going to take a couple pulls. This is basically for about Alexandria area. I didn't have these preloaded, so it's going to take just a minute for the computer to take a pull here. But this is our primary threat area right here. So we're looking at about 1,300 megajoule CAPE. So we're dealing with a very explosive line on a cold front. This is more than enough to keep these cells up and active. We have about a 50 knot southwesterly flow. That's going to equate to about a 59.3 mile per hour southwesterly. We have a nice, extremely powerful curving hodograph showing tornadic activity with hail core possible right on the frontal side. This is your tornado down below. It's moving more east as it moves on the frontal line because you can see the lines are conjecting more to the east here. So this is your tornado right here on the hodograph. And you have that wide curving line. Of course, the model thinks it's tornadic. I mean, that's been the trending for forever now. One thing about this I am going to say, the rain variant appears to be pretty high on a lot of these cells. So the possibility of some of these being rain wrapped could be a problem. I think one or two will probably be open, but we could have a couple rain wrapped tornadoes moving through central west Louisiana. That appears to be our primary threat right through here. The most of every pull is going to be really close to this. I've pulled nearly 20,000 pulls in the last 3 days. We're moving about 1,100 to 1,400 megajoule and about 49 to 61 mile an hour southwesterly. Everything's curving because you have that long, strong low right here. You can see it located right about here, actually, in this depiction. So you're moving air down and around because this is the 500 millibar. We're more worried about the 920 millibar sections lower to ground. And as you can see, this continues through Louisiana for a long period of time. More than likely being very devastating through Louisiana. Then you get into about the 3 in the morning time span where things start to cool down a little bit. And then morning time, the eastern side of Louisiana, or eastern side of Mississippi, could see a few tornadoes. It's not the greatest of threat. This is 55 knots, so we're dealing with about 67 mile an hour southwesterly right there. And as you can see, there is your pounding cold front coming in right behind it that pushed the line out to the east. And our low is way up here around Pennsylvania by this point. And then you start to see the cold front pretty well just envelop the area over Thanksgiving. But this is going to be our primary tornado threat. right about from Nacogdoches, Texas, up to around maybe as possible north as Ringgold, uh, down around into Louisiana, Mississippi border along the southern side, including the Boot Hill of Louisiana, and anywhere south of this area could see a tornado. I mean, it's possible. I would expect to watch very early in the day. This is something else that's trending. Maybe a couple possible tornadoes right up around Grayson County, Texas. This is a possibility. A lot of cells will do this. These are a powerful dynamic cells. You get an early initiation, very north of the low, produces a small tornado. Like going back to the March 21st, 2001 setup, they had a large tornado in Jacksboro that blew their school up. I sat south of that area in Rockdale, Texas that day and seen 16 tornadoes. Was that the primary area? No. But that doesn't mean that it could not affect that area. Pre-fire initiations earlier in the day are usually a very good sign you're coming into a very strong cycle, because you're getting just ribbing shearing coming off of the line. So right up in this area around Grayson County could see a tornado or two. The probability is about 20%. It's not huge, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is the area that sees a little sneaker. But that's basically what we're looking at right now. Thank you all for watching. Bobby Francis here for Full Tilt Weather, and I'm out.